welcome to MUSE TV. I'm your host, Liliana Ramirez, and today we have our special guests, the band members of Willow Crest, which are Reina Mora and Iran Garcia.
Easy to escape reality, yeah, it was easier. Easy for you to turn the other cheek, yeah, it was easier.
Doing good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us. So you guys just released your first single, right? Look at Me, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us how the band formed before? Like, how did the band form? Like, it was a little backup.
Backstory. Give you a backstory. We got you. Well, when we first met, it was through mutual friends, and he came to one of my shows, my Reina Mora shows, and loved what I was doing, and I collaborate with other singer-songwriters, and I also do songs for placement and sync, and so he wanted to do something like that, like collaborate and just write songs. So we decided the beginning of 2020 when he came back from Miami to start working together, and that was before, obviously,
before the group had even started.
Like the pandemic even happened. And then we like on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we started writing music. We would meet once a week, writing music, again with the hopes of just pitching it to other artists. But then we realized that the process just felt very organic, very natural, very second nature.
It became like a therapy session.
Yeah,
each time.
It still is a therapy session, you know. So we just started writing songs that we just ultimately felt, you know what, I think we have something here that we need to protect, we need to cultivate. And that's where the group was born out of.
I think it came actually after writing Look at Me.
After writing Look at Me, yeah.
Is when we decided, that's why we decided that on the first single too, because after writing that song, I was like, well, this is not like for Reina Mora, and it's too personal to like to give to somebody else. So we wanted to like, I was like, why don't we just form a duo? And luckily he was down for it. And then we wrote our whole EP during this pandemic.
Yeah. We had a bunch of more therapy sessions after that.
Yes. And he was coming out of a long-term relationship. Yeah. I was coming out of a divorce. So lots of material.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, a song is, you know, when you have something to say, and, you know, that's what life is.
We have lots to say.
Yes, I was reading that. So your first single, Look at Me, was inspired by your past relationships, right? That's how you guys all connected.
Yeah, it like, I mean, it's kind of straightforward, I feel, the song itself, but also like I feel like it's told from the perspective of the person that left, which I don't think gets told very often. We always hear the person that got left and their perspective mostly from songs. And I really wanted to do songs this time around where it was like the person that left and the reasons they left. Like personally, I feel like you always get vilified when you do leave a relationship, especially a marriage. And so I wanted to tell my side of the story, and I think that's how I did it, and I do it through song best. So that's what came of it.
And I think it still holds a very broad stroke where, yes, I mean, in your particular situation, in both of our situations, it was, we left a relationship just like millions of other people do. But what we wanted to focus on in the song was just, you know what, these are the reasons why. And sometimes there's certain reasons that don't get spoken about, you know, when you talk with your friends. Oh, you know, he cheated, she cheated, or I got bored, you got bored. No, it had nothing to do with that. It's, you know, it's about someone that's right in front of you. Like, we're having this conversation and you're completely ignoring.
Really
I'm ignoring your presence, you know.
Like, even when you're in the room, you're not there.
Yeah, you're in the room, you know, and you're sharing a physical space with somebody, but your presence is not really being
and you're also on
acknowledged.
Just two different energies.
Two different energies. So it covers a lot of different emotions, but the base is still the same.
I was able to see the video and hear the song, and I think it's so amazing. And I also saw on your website, willowcrestmusic.com, that you guys will be hosting a Zoom a video, like a Zoom watch party for your
Yeah.
video.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that and how your like fans can join. Can anybody join? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, yeah. So we're gonna host pretty much a YouTube watch party on Friday when it comes out.
Yeah.
And pretty much, we'll set a time. And this is all through YouTube and all that, where we can just watch it together and we can comment on, what you like about the video, what you think about the song,
What you don't like.
because I think because of the pandemic, and this is something that we're constantly brainstorming about, because of the pandemic that everybody is working from home,
Yeah.
the lack of socializing has been thrown out the window. As artists, as musicians, I feel we
want to engage our audience.
we need to come up with new ways of how to create engage with our audience,
people virtually. And we just did a show this past Sunday.
With High Plateau Productions.
Mm-hmm. And you want to tell it?
Pretty much.
It was our first performance.
It was our first performance, and it was a huge turnout. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better result. And
it's so weird because like we're so used to performing in front of people. So when you do it virtually, it's like there's no audience to clap or give you any feedback or feed off of. And so it's like super weird because as a musician, I'm just used to performing live in front of people and having that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But our audience was our dog, Stevie.
She's taking a nap right below us.
She's taking a nap right there. She's our mascot as well. And luckily, also the good thing about High Plateau Productions is that they do like comments and feedback. So we had like questions in between. So it's kind of like an interview / performance, and it was really cool and organic and fun.
Yeah. As musicians, musicians feed off of an audience.
Yeah.
When you go to a concert, imagine being on stage in a huge arena playing for an empty venue.
Yeah. It's a lot more nerve-wracking when
it's
there's
intimidating.
Nobody there.
It's very intimidating.
I was nervous.
No,
I was nervous before the. A lot of people are like, "But you didn't look nervous," and I was like, "No, I was nervous."
But it's again because of the pandemic, we have to think of different ways of how to interact with the audience, because we are doing this for people to relate with our stories, with our music. It's not just about putting the music out there, but it's to hear your thoughts as well, as you shared already. And it's an ongoing circle of energy back and forth. So no, we're super excited.
That's awesome. You guys basically answer my next question, but what is it like to release a song during the pandemic? I know
it's difficult. I feel a lot more because it's not like you can go out and perform or you can go out and promote it as much or network or do the things that we could have done normally. So that's why we're just trying to adapt with the times and, do things within obviously pandemic means, what I mean? Like, and luckily we got our song placed on an FM radio station. We got some placements on playlist. So we're just trying, like, hustling, every day. We're indie artists, so we do this independently for now.
Yeah. On our own.
And we feel really blessed that we're getting a lot of great feedback. And, the people who support me from Reina Mora are also supporting me as Willow Crest. And it feels like an outpour of love. And this is literally a year in the making because literally we spent all of 2020 writing songs for our EP.
Wow, that's so cool. So what's next for Willow Crest? Is there going to be more music coming soon? Is there going to be an album? What's next?
Well, I mean, I have a saying, or maybe a saying that was passed on to me, you can't feed a village on just one seed. You got to plant many seeds to grow trees and plants. So, it's right now we're at a stage where, we just released Look at Me. Mm-hmm. We'll be releasing the music video this upcoming Friday, the 22nd. And then from there on is just continuing to interact. I mean, we're
also releasing more singles.
We're releasing more singles.
which
throughout the
we
year.
performed all of our EP on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to be doing another live stream show soon. We're going to try to adapt with the times and make the best of the situation that we're in. And of course, release more music, which we're totally excited for. And hopefully the next single is my favorite single off the album.
Yeah. That'll be out in March. Yeah.
Yeah, most
Okay.
likely March.
How cool. So can we talk about the visuals for Look at Me? I know it's not out yet, but I did see it, and I don't know, can you guys give us a little sneak peek to the audience? I think it's so amazing.
It was a
sneak peek.
Well, I'm very much like a visual artist. I love like coming up with concepts for music videos and all that good stuff. So with Reina Mora, I did that all the time. And so with Willow Crest, no exception. I came up with the idea of Look at Me with the mirrors, the broken mirrors, because it's all about like looking at yourself too, and the why you stayed in that relationship too. Like you have to acknowledge your own faults and your own, and like even if it doesn't, it's not just the other person that's its fault, it's you as well. So it's kind of like facing yourself. And I think that's ultimately what I wanted to portray with the mirror shots of like, yeah, this is what happened, but also I wanted to look at myself and really reflect on, where I went wrong.
Yeah.
So
it's like a little bit of both sides.
And so like, what can your fans expect to hear from your EP? Is it going to be all love songs, or
we try to, at least for this EP, for this group of songs, we really wanted to concentrate on something that's very personal to us, and the message of just accepting our flaws, not as something bad, but as something unique that make us who we are. We spend most of our lives hearing the word no, that it lowers our self-worth sometimes. Being told no, and you're not good enough, you're not perfect, you're not creative enough, you're not pretty enough,
you're not skinny enough,
you're not skinny enough,
you're not this enough.
So when we, as a result of that, when we fail in those topics, like for example, coming out of a relationship, a lot of people might take that as I have failed. But no, in a way,
you're liberating yourself.
You have liberating yourself, but you're also succeeding because you're looking after your own happiness.
And ultimately, that's what I think life should be about, is finding your happiness. And I think that's, even though we were going through a pandemic and obviously we were feeling a lot of anxiety through that, but this EP also helped us because it gave us less anxiety. It gave us a space an outlet to share our feelings, thoughts, and emotions. And yes, there are some love songs on the EP. There's 2. And there are also some, like songs about, just doing you and being happy for yourself first, because you can't make anybody else happy unless you're happy first.
And that's really what we want, the message, that what we want our listeners to take away from our music, most importantly, is look after yourself. Being selfish should not be seen as a bad thing. Being selfish, at least to us.
Well, I mean, everybody has, like, when people hear selfish is such a tough word to listen to as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's selfish. I think that's like the wrong word, but I think it's more of like, it's more of looking out for your heart and your soul and your energy. And I really believe that if you don't do that and you don't love yourself and you don't take chances on yourself, then you're never going to accomplish anything in this life. So I feel like that's what the biggest thing about us is, that we took a chance on each other, and we're hoping it all blooms because we planted the seeds already.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Willow Crest, which is Reina Mora, and Iran Garcia for coming and joining us here today for Muse News. And where can your fans find you on social media?
Well, on Instagram, Willow Crest Music, Facebook, Willow Crest Music, YouTube as well, Willow Crest Music. I mean, pretty much everywhere.
WillowCrestMusic.com.
And WillowCrestMusic.com.
Well, go ahead. No.
All streaming platforms.
And one more thing, if we may add, on Bandcamp, Make sure to follow us, Willow Crest Music, because we'll be releasing some surprises starting February 1st.
Ooh, how exciting. Well, there you have it, guys. Make sure you guys go follow the band members of Willow Crest through social media. I'm your host, Liliana Ramirez, and you're watching MUSE TV.
That she gave was easier than to really look at me.